and welcome to the Ventured Trail. My name's Kendall. I'm an intuitive tarot reader and an energy healer. Today, I want to bring you a message for Scorpio season. So we're gonna pick a crystal today in a little bit, and what we're gonna go over in this reading is spiritual growth. I've got a few decks I'm gonna use today. Spiritual growth with my Dragon Oracle. We're gonna talk about the dimensions that you're working in right now, as well as just like the focus of your evolution and your own, just your soul, what their focus is, your higher self, kind of just your overall growth within this month, I guess. And then next we're going to use this deck and we're going to do a general message just to see into what is coming up, any challenges, any obstacles, any opportunities. That's going to let us know what's going on there. Then we're gonna go into this deck and I'm gonna split it between singles and those in a relationship for a little bit of a love reading. I'm just gonna pull a couple of cards from this deck. And then we're gonna finish up with a few cards just from this tarot deck, just for like any leftover messages, anything else that you guys should know about this upcoming astrological season. I love Scorpio season. I don't know about you guys, but I love the spookiness. I love the mystery. I have a Scorpio rising, so I feel like I do a lot of my growth within this period and a lot of downloads come in. So yeah, let's get started. I'll show you guys your crystals and you can choose one. And then you can look in the description below where I'm gonna have the times put in for when you can fast forward to for your reading. Okay, here are your crystal choices today. The first crystal here is Sodalite. Next we have just a rock I found on the beach this summer. And thirdly we have green calcite, has quartz inclusions as well. So just tune in here and see which is connecting to your heart right now, which one is really calling your name. And it's okay if there's more than one. I'll leave timestamps below and then you can go to the time that you need for your crystal. So crystal number 1, Sodalite. Crystal number 2, rock from the beach. And crystal number 3 is green calcite with quartz inclusions. So pile 1, you guys chose Sodalite. So with this Sodalite, just right off the bat, I am going to be reading the crystals before I even pull cards. And you guys who chose this Sodalite, I do see a lot of communication and a lot of really deep thought, but not like abstract thought. It's going to be more strategic and logical. I sense that you guys are just finding a new way of self-expression, starting a new project, or wanting to revamp a project where you feel like you just need to like start from scratch, but not starting from the beginning, but having like fresh eyes on the situation. So this Sodalite's kind of giving me the inkling that there's going to be a lot of evolution through there, but also a lot of movement forward. I feel like it's been kind of frustrating a little bit for the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of buildup of you knowing that a change is coming or that something new is coming into your energy and you just weren't really sure how to move forward with it. Within Scorpio season, I see that you guys who chose this pile, you are going to be moving through it very smoothly now, having to do with your communication and yeah, just the way that you step forward into this new energy. I want you guys to see this close up as well. This is such a beautiful Sodalite. I got it from the Paper Birch here in Kelowna. I love the little like mauve purpley tones in it. I haven't really ever seen that in a Sodalite. But let's get on to the reading. So like I said, we're gonna start out with a dragon card. These cards, they all of the dragons in this deck, they correspond to a specific dimension, and the dimensions that are in this deck are the 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 7th, and 9th dimension. So I might refer to the table of contents about like depending on the dragon to see which dimension they're in, because I don't always know what dimension they're in, but other than that, we're just going to do a nice little intuitive read. Ooh, pile 1. Pure white dragon from Orion. So I have a feeling this is going to be a 9th dimensional dragon. Fairly certain. How come I can't find it? Oh, there it is. 7th dimension. Oh, cool. So, pure white dragon from Orion. How gorgeous are those colors, hey? Like the beautiful galaxy in behind. This card flipped upright in the deck as I was shuffling, and I just totally got caught by those galaxy tones and the white being like brought in through like rays from the heavens. Speaking of the heavens, the 7th dimension deals with angelic energies. So those of you who chose Sodalite, this pile 1, you guys are acting a lot in the 7th dimension. You're dealing with very uplifting energies and energies that are like much bigger than ourselves. It's like when you speak about like earth angels, or you hear about people refer to people as like, you're my angel. They're acting from this higher power that's much bigger than them. They're thinking in a collective energy where we're all connected, and they're thinking of something much more of themselves when they're acting in this altruistic way that is connected to the angelic realm. But not only that, this specific card says, transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty, let your wings of light grow and expand. So you're in a time period right now where you've had some time to observe the people around you, and you're starting to see a little bit of like how different everybody's journeys are, and how like spirituality and kind of just like priorities in everybody's lives are just so different. But you see yours as being a lot to do with your own personal growth. Even if you're not a super spiritual person, this card is telling you that you are evolving and growing within your consciousness a lot this month. And like I said, like a lot with like strategy and stuff as well within the Sodalite, that's gonna mesh together really well, because I feel like you guys have decided finally that you are just gonna do it right. You're just gonna do it the way that you know it has to be done for it to come to fruition, smartly, strategically, and safely, like stabilized. You want this to grow, to grow into an empire. You want this to last forever. You want to leave a legacy behind with what you're creating. You may not even realize it right now because you're just kind of following your passion, but it's transforming your own wisdom and your own knowledge into something that you can use for years to come. It's going to be something that leads to a lot of your own self-discovery when it comes to your own abilities involving communication, and I'm getting technology as well a little bit here. So if you guys are looking into involving technology with this goal or this project that is coming in, that is something that is a little note, just side note. Yeah, like I said, I feel like you guys have been like observing a lot as well. Like, I don't know if I actually said that, but it came to mind earlier when I was just processing things through. You guys have been observing a lot lately, and I think you guys have just kind of reassessed your beliefs and morals, and you're starting to just have a different way of thinking about how you want to come like into things. Like, you want things to be done right, and you want them to be done within your morals and your beliefs and your standards within yourself. I think before maybe you let other people sway you into doing things a different way, and it just really didn't align with who you are. Not saying that it was the wrong way or that it was like, detrimental to you. It probably wasn't. It just didn't feel aligned with who you are. So it didn't stick, it didn't last. You realized you had to do it your own way. So now we're going to move into some general messages here. This is the Akashic Tarot deck. I'm going to try and remember to list all the decks that I used today as well. So I'm thinking about pulling like 3 cards from this deck. I decided to kind of do this, well, not on a whim, but just yesterday, I was like, oh, I feel like pulling cards, and I couldn't really figure out why, and I was like, oh yeah, I did a Libra season pick a pile, so it would make sense to do a Scorpio season pick a pile coming up next. I don't know why I put those up so far. The light's reflecting off of the table. I can't see them at all. Okay, so we got the One of Scrolls, the Ace of Scrolls on track. So that's really cool. That's Earth energy there with the scrolls. And then we have the Divine Physician in reverse. So that's what it looks like up right here, but it did flip out for us upside down. So that's just gonna give us a different meaning there. We also got Archangel Gabriel, and it was in reverse as well, but that's just what how they depict them in this deck. So that's interesting too, because we did get 1, but then it was followed by a 6 and a 3. So to me, that even brings the number 2 into things, because of like 6 divided in half being 3. And coming together to multiply and kind of transform. The One of Scrolls, as I was saying, is nice earthy energy, and aces are all about new beginnings. So like I said, there is like this new project that's coming in here, and it's really marking a focus on that coming in with this new deck even. It's not even the same deck, and it's marking a new project. It's gonna be very like monetarily valuable as well. You're going to be able to earn an income from this, but it is going to be more of a passion project. Like, I think that this is something that you've done for a little while now, but now you're like, hey, Christmas is coming up, and you may have not realized it, but it's Scorpio season, and that's when we all do this like rebirth kind of thing, and we decide to break into this new aspect of ourselves, and we're still kind of on the training wheels a little bit, trialing this new part of ourselves out that we've discovered. But although clumsy, it is really fun, and like it says on the card, you are on track. So that's just our number 1 card here that it's showing us. The Divine Physician in reverse. I do see this as being kind of like a health card, like just be very aware of your own health. Depicted here is, it looks like it's Jesus performing healing. It may also be Hermes or Mercury kind of energy as well, just with, I forget what it's called, but that medical symbol that's on his chest. It's very much associated with Hermes as well, who is also associated with, very similar to the god Mercury. And they all have a focus on health. So that being in reverse, I just feel like that's more of like an internal thing. Like for those of you that really resonate with this new project you're bringing in, one of the blockages or challenges that you're going to have to break through is your self-confidence and how strongly you cling to the belief that you are not enough. Because this card is kind of telling me that you are very self-sabotaging, and it might be self-loathing at times. You drag yourself down when you start to succeed, because somewhere in your subconscious is embedded this belief that you are not enough, that you do not deserve this, and that you will never succeed. So when you do start seeing these successes, or you have to stand in the spotlight for a second, it feels super uncomfortable, and you just like revert back into this toxic cycle of self-sabotage, or hiding yourself away, or just doing something to slow yourself down or avert you from experiencing this success and this abundance wholeheartedly. I definitely see this as more of like a mental health check, possibly lining up with a therapist or a counselor. There's also lots of free apps and programs, you know, like online accessibility that is more so peer oriented, with like peer coaching if finances are an issue and you can't see any therapy right now. I have a few options and resources if any of you guys are in need. Not saying that this is going to be for everybody, and of course I'm not telling you what to do, but just letting you know, just from my stance of things. This may also kind of, I see this also very earthy energy too. Although it is not like a scroll card, it's not actually, you know, like pentacle energy or earth energy. I see this as like earth healing. So within healing yourself, you're also healing the environment around you. Whenever you focus on yourself, you start to beautify the world around you. So this happens physically, like I said, it kind of feels earthy. So you may be being hard on yourself right now because you're not keeping up with chores, or your house is starting to look a little dirty and you know you need to do a big clean job, or your laundry is starting to pile up and you're being really, really hard on yourself, and you're choosing to focus on that instead of this success that you're starting to come into a little bit here. I see you kind of doing those things in the past, and that might be just a pattern that you get into as well. Not so much just like strong mental kind of stuff that you have to deal with, but more so just like observing where your thoughts go to when you start experiencing success, or when you do start putting action towards things that you really care about. Archangel Gabriel, I believe that like this angel's coming in here as well to act on that even more strongly. Gabriel is associated with so much love and so much compassion. Sometimes they're depicted as a woman, sometimes a male. I always see Gabriel as non-binary. That's just kind of how I associate with them, since they're depicted differently everywhere. But think about like music, like Gabriel's usually seen with a trumpet. I don't know if it's an actual trumpet, but it's like a horn of some sort. And so think about like maybe listening to some more music lately that connects with your heart, or possibly listening to a new playlist to find new music that is just gonna like bring in your attention, and you're like, wait a second, there's a message in this song that I need to look up, like the lyrics to or something. I'm getting that specific pull, so pay attention to music. But Gabriel, as I was saying, is very compassionate and very loving. So there may be also this need to step back and detach a little bit when you do start getting in the negative and treating yourself as your best friend. That can be really hard to do in the time, but as soon as you even have that thought of like, okay, if this was my friend, I wouldn't be treating my friend like this. It slows you down a little bit in how you're reacting to yourself. So I kind of see that, as well as like, like healing the earth. Like those of you who chose this pile, when you work on yourself and when you better your own self, it's almost like you're processing these negative collective energies as well. Those of you who chose this pile might be like really big, like earthly connected empaths. So you are really connected to the collective energy. And when there's a lot of negativity, you get bogged down with it, or may really have to watch with what kind of energy you are absorbing, and dedicating yourself to daily energetic cleanses, even within yourself. And I kind of want to do a small video on that too on my Instagram. So hit me up if you want to see that, because I mean, I'm probably going to do it anyway, but I'm mentioning it now. I see you guys kind of having to take more care of your light, because you're shining really bright right now. Like I said, you're working in the angelic realm, so your light is just like a beacon right now, and you're really processing some dark stuff sometimes. And these cards are just letting you know that it's not all your stuff that you're processing. So maybe just take a minute and disconnect if you can. See if you can kind of detach from that and see how to, release those things instead of claiming them. So I'm gonna see if I was gonna try and put these cards up too. I don't think I will be able to, there won't be enough room. So next we're gonna move on to love. So I'm gonna do singles first. I was thinking about just doing 2 or 3 cards with each of these messages as well. Saying that out loud for you guys, as well as for the deck's knowledge, because if I don't say how many cards I want, usually it spits out like 10. And that's just a little bit harder to work with. I mean, it's easier to work with when it's like an individual reading, but when it's collective readings or a generalized reading, it's a lot. So those of you who are single and you chose Sodalite, we have the 5 of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, as well as the Page of Swords in reverse. So unfortunately for you guys, I'm just gonna be blunt. There's a lot of competition around the person that you kind of have your eyes on right now, and a lot of need for balance because you are abandoning yourself right now. I can feel it. You're letting go of yourself. You're deciding that this other person is more important, and it's because of the competition surrounding it. It's become more of a game than anything. And I don't think you've noticed that because the Page of Swords is in reverse here, and it almost looks like you're walking blindly into this. You got your sword forward, you're ready to fight, but you're not really sure what you're even walking into. And I think it's just because you've felt these feelings that you haven't felt for a really long time. You felt really strongly attracted to this person, but I don't even think it's really specific to the person. Well, I mean, like, it is specific to the person, and like the traits of this person is what like activated this like really strong love that you haven't been able to let yourself open up to for a really long time. It is this person, but I think the more you've gotten into it, you've realized that there's a lot of competitive factors, whether that be that this person is like super busy and just doesn't have the time to dedicate to this relationship what you are expecting from them, or if this is more so about how this person, they're playing the field, and maybe you are too, but they're seeing multiple people and you're kind of like feeling this like jealousy, envy, competitive nature boil up inside of you, and now that nature is outweighing the amount of affection and connection that you feel with this person. I'm kind of seeing that because the Five of Wands for sure is giving me competition, so there's like too much going on at once. The Six of Pentacles is asking for balance, and really realistic balance, because Pentacles is an Earth's like energy, and it asks us to really like just be realistic. It's not so an emotional connect, at least not seen as a very emotional sign. It is emotional because it's more of like our safety and our boundaries, but it is also seen as like a blunt energy, and it can kind of go against how our emotions or our impulses are swaying us because it's so grounded and stubborn in its nature. And then this Page of Swords, as I said, in reverse, it just feels like you're walking blind into this, and you're just more concerned with the fight than anything. So if this is a place where like, or a person who like you feel like you're in competition with for their affection and their attention, I've pretty much played it out, or like laid it out plain and simple. For those of you who feel like you're always competing with this person's schedule or social life and things like that, I feel like it is more so about how like you're just like fighting for that attention now, and that's more so what it's about, because you're really liking the attention that this person gives to you, if it's like, even if it's not as much attention as what you know you need in a relationship. That's kind of what I'm seeing here for singles who chose this pile. So take from it what you will. Ooh. So those of you in a relationship now in this Sodalite pile, this one. Oh man, this is looking negative right off the bat, but I'm gonna just look more into it. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, and then we have the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Cups. So that Five of Cups is really making me sad. It's giving me really sad vibes. Same with the Seven of Swords here. It's making me feel really odd. Although this Ten of Pentacles here is fairly optimistic, it looks like. I have a feeling that competition is actually something alive in your relationship as well. Those of you that are with someone or kind of in a situation that's kind of with someone, but it's not competition with people outside of the relationship. It's competition within the relationship a little bit. And I don't even know. I think it's like one of you guys sees the competitiveness and the other one doesn't, maybe. What I'm kind of seeing that is like, I'm seeing like somebody is kind of working behind the scenes. Those of you who chose this pile and chose Sodalite that are in a relationship, I have a feeling that either you or your partner is kind of hiding something from you because they think that you're going to get competitive about it or jealous about it. I say that because the Seven of Swords here, he's got a whole bunch of swords under his cloak and he's only showing one. So possibly someone is hitting the gym more so than the other person, or is spending a lot of time studying, or spending a lot more time alone. And so one partner in this relationship is kind of like freaking out a little bit, feeling like, what am I doing wrong? Whereas that other person is freaking out, thinking like, I really like what I'm doing right now, but I don't want my partner to reject me for it. And that's why the 5 of Cups energy is coming up here, because I see you guys like crying over spilled milk, and you don't even see these cups that are still full behind you, right? Like, I think that you're making a mountain out of a molehill is kind of the vibe that I'm feeling here, is that like you're feeling like you really need to keep this a secret, or just keep it from them right now until you feel successful. Like, it might be a side project that you want to see actual like evidence that it is growing before you share it. And this might be like a manifestation strategy. Like, I know some people, they don't talk about what they're trying to bring into the world because they don't want other people to influence how it comes to life. And I kind of see that energy as well. But this 10 of Pentacles, like, it always gives me the word loyalty. I always see loyalty in this card. And I was trying to figure out how this card came to play with this stuff, and it definitely is the solution. You're not understanding, like, for those of you who are hearing this and you're the ones that are like, I've been keeping something under wraps and you just ratted me out. This card is letting you know, like, it's okay. This person is loyal to you. They may not fully understand it. Like, there's the older man there that's wise in his craft, and he's seen it all, right? Like, he knows what he's doing. And then there's that younger man who seems like more of the novice. And so you may need to kind of allow them to embrace it a little bit, because they may not understand it. For those of you that are now looking at this and being like, wait, is my partner hiding something from me? Some of the stuff that she's suggested seems pretty on point. I don't think that you need to really like, you know, unveil them or like out them for whatever they're working on, but maybe just reassure them that there is trust in the relationship. Maybe there's something that you're hiding as well, because a lot of the times in relationships we're mirroring our partners. So you've been feeling like, yeah, you know what, this is so true, this is on point. If that's you, take a look at yourself too and see if you're hiding something from them, or if you're just not being completely honest with them about something. Maybe there's something you can share with them that will help them feel like they can open up to you. It's definitely something within their own self-growth. So it's not something like scary, like they're not, you know, doing anything that would betray you in any way. They are just feeling really vulnerable about what they're exploring right now, and it won't have any detriment to your relationship. They're just kind of like working it out. So obviously this isn't going to apply to everybody, but that is what I'm seeing for those of you that are in a relationship. So now I'm gonna move on to the last final messages. Anything else that this group needs to see? Well, we got the 8 of Fire first off. Oh, these two came out. 3, okay. 8 of Fire, King of Fire in reverse. The Wheel, Archangel Michael in reverse. And the 7 of Earth. So the 8 of Fire, events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over, many things happening at once. Okay, so those of you who chose this pile, it's going to be a busy month. King of Fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Cool, so that's in reverse for us. And then we have the Wheel, which is number 10, and it's Archangel Michael. A time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. Holy shit, you guys are moving into some fast energy here. I wasn't too sure because there was like constant wands and there was constant pentacles, it felt like. So this is really interesting. And then we're ending here with the 7 of Earth, and it's seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, an unnecessary worry. So that's interesting because the rest of our cards here are saying like a change is coming, it's going to be quick, you're going into a shift here. And then we're ending on this like plant your seeds and just let it grow, let it take time for it to come into life. So that kind of like is connected more with that Ace of Scrolls, that one of Scrolls that we saw earlier too, hey? I feel like that's just reminding us that although there is a lot changing right now and that we are stepping into this like beautiful new transition, it's gonna take a little bit of time to grow. So although your thoughts are racing and your like head is getting probably bigger and your dreams are getting bigger and you have all these expectations for yourself to meet them now, just slow yourself down, because you are gonna succeed and make a whole bunch of leaps within this Scorpio season, but you still need to be realistic about it. You still need to realize your humanness and understand that with every move that you make forward and with every like blockage that you break through, there's gonna be something that comes up, some shadow aspect that comes up that you're gonna be like, oh wow, I didn't realize I needed to deal with that. So for example, that's like that mental stuff that we were talking about earlier in the reading. So you're breaking through these blockages, you're starting this new project, you're taking the lead in this new way, and once you break through that, you see this shadow aspect of yourself that may be self-sabotaging when you do reach success. Or you're understanding that maybe your competitive nature overthrows your morals and values sometimes, and you're really having to realign with that this round. There's a lot of energy within that kind of realm. There is so much fire energy here though. Like, yeah, it's just like a reminder to stay grounded through it, because there is going to be a lot of fast moving stuff, and you're gonna have to stay grounded just so that you don't start like getting too much in your head, kind of like how I was talking with the mental stuff earlier. This wheel, the Archangel Michael, a time for positive change, fortune is on your side. So it's interesting because like the wheel here is portrayed by the astrological wheel, right? And I think it traditionally is too. And we've got Michael here, and he kind of looks like the Emperor, and I believe that Michael actually is the Emperor in this deck as well. But anywho, he is like really standing in his ground as well, and understanding that he can stand his ground within the changes. Like with everything shifting around him, he can plant his feet and he can just stay realistic and strategic throughout his actions. Oh my goodness, we're having some light changes here. I feel like I'm looking in a mirror right now. I can't see the camera. Yeah, so that's just our final messages here for pile number 1. Next up, pile number 2. Okay, now for pile number 2, those of you who chose my rock from the beach. So yeah, I threw in this rock because I had a friend of mine, the same friend that actually let me have the Sodalite from pile number 1. Her name's Janet, and she owns the Paper Birch in Kelowna. I go there every Thursday to do readings. She told me that I needed to bond more with rocks, and that rocks specifically were something that I needed to communicate with a little bit more and you know, feel into their energy a little bit more. And shortly after she told me that, I went to the beach one day with a couple friends, and I just started collecting these rocks, and they all just have the best feeling. They're a little bit smooth from like the wear of the lake, and they just have like a nice, like really chill, beachy energy. Just really like soft and go with the flow. Very much like a beach at sunset. So for those of you who chose pile 2 and you chose this rock, I'm sensing this like go with the flow energy. Almost like there's gonna be chaos kind of going around you during Scorpio season, and you're just like grounded. You're good to go. Like, you're not like unbothered, but you're kind of just like able to see things from like a distant point of view that allows you to not get sucked into some of the things that really don't need your attention. You're doing a good job of keeping boundaries this month and just like focus on yourself. So the first card I'm going to pull is a dragon card for you guys to see what dimension you're working in. That was really quick. So you guys got the white gold dragon from Lyra. That's cool. I think this is a 9th dimensional dragon. Connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra, which I think is just the crown chakra. Bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. Yeah, so the 9th dimension deals with DNA blueprints. It's with our like soul's purpose and our destiny and our fate. It's things that are like way from like a big point of view, so detached. And it's from like a huge scale of things, like lifetime after lifetime kind of thing. So the dragons that reside in the 9th dimension, as well as like all of the 9th dimensional beings, they've all ascended to this place to help the world evolve and help individuals evolve and help them kind of plan out how they're going to get to where they want to go. That's souls that I'm talking about. Like, it's like the big picture stuff. So this white gold dragon fib Lyra. I don't know too much about Lyra. The Lyrians were like a really ancient alien race, but the Christ light and Christ force energy, I am a little bit more familiar with that. It is a pure energy working that a lot of people get into through Reiki with some advanced levels that they take. You can also get into this, I believe, with like just shamanism as well. It's just working with a really specific healing light that's identified with Christ. And it is like, it's so godly and just so pure. And it really, like I said, like it's in the 9th dimension. So you guys right now, I feel like you're doing some major cleansing within your spiritual DNA and everything. Like within, like I see this in all different ranges, like because this is a general reading here, I'm seeing like a lot of different paths that you guys are on right now. And when I say that I'm cleaning up, I mean some of you guys have been doing so much inner child work to release things. A lot of you have been doing actual like ancestral work, like root work even maybe, or just like deep ancestral work of helping rid things from your family line that are toxic or ending cycles. I also see this as people like just like coming out of a shift. Like you guys are shifting out of this time where you felt really bogged down and like really just like groggy, like you weren't really feeling all that functional, and it feels like now you're really like, it's like you're getting re-energized and you're kind of seeing things from a new angle, and you're understanding that all of this like deep dark shit that you just went through has left you with this new perspective that's keeping you really grounded right now while some other people are freaking out and stuff. Like you kind of already learned how to take care of yourself in chaotic energy through the trials that you've just experienced throughout like the last year, it feels like, couple months as well maybe. But it feels like it's like a long period that you just got used to like functioning at this like lower level, and it may not even have been energetically, but you just may have been like drinking or partying more, or like just not doing all that much, like watching TV or like getting out of your gym routine, you know, like you just like you were in a funk kind of, and you're feeling a little bit more re-energized, but it probably doesn't feel like you're just like this high energy. It just feels kind of like clearer. Like when you put your mind to something, it's easier for you to do it. Like, yeah, go to the gym, or you know, meditate, or you know, work on this project of yours that you've been putting off for a little while. You just finally have the energy to draw attention to that aspect of yourself. Yeah, the causal chakra. So a lot to do with the crown chakra as well. So lots of crown chakra activations, meaning like that you're just understanding things a lot deeper than you used to. It's really beautiful. So that's really awesome. That's a great start for this pile, guys. Pile number 2 with the beach rock. So now I'm gonna go into just like the focus, the themes, the obstacles, anything that's coming up for you guys within the month ahead. Ooh. Okay. Oh, this is interesting, guys. This plays a really good story here. So we got the 4 of keys, clearing the way. So I believe the keys are like the swords or the air sign in this deck. And it says clearing the way. And then we have the bird's nest, which is the 3 of forces. The forces might be air, okay? There's scrolls, keys, roses, forces. Where's force is water? It's blue. Yeah, forces is probably water. Yeah, you're right, Kendall. Okay, so we got the bird's nest in reverse. And then we're ending with the 5 of keys, wishes fulfilled, but it also is in reverse. So what I'm seeing here for you guys, pile 2, those of you who chose beach rock, there is this obstacle that's now being removed, but this obstacle gave you so much frustration and was probably the reason why you were going through this like dark period or this funk. There was something going on in your world that just like kept hitting you, like every time you went to go move, like make a move in the direction that you're finding ease in now. I'm seeing this as like well-being, specifically just overall your well-being and its growth. I don't really see this like specifically, like pertaining to a project, like a career or a relationship or anything. I just kind of see this as like just your general energy. Like there was something that you really set your mind on, and maybe you even had tunnel vision at the time, and then something like the universe just like threw something in your way that really stopped that in progress, and you didn't have a choice, like you were stuck there. But now it's kind of clearing the way. The reasoning for that blockage though, that you may understand a little bit more now, but I'm thinking by like the end of Scorpio season, you're gonna wrap your head around it. You're actually like, because you're gonna be separated enough from it by the end of Scorpio season that you're really gonna understand it. But that obstacle was helping you because like you were just a little baby bird in the nest. Like your wings weren't ready. Like you were not ready to fly, and you thought you were. Like you were just ready, and your ego was like, no, we're going for it. Like we've committed. We're doing this. And the universe is like, nope. And that caused this big like meltdown because like you'd focused all your energy on this, and now you know, your whole mindset changed, and it was probably a really like just uncomfortable and almost like painful experience for you, which like really friggin' sucked. But the bird's nest being in reverse here, it's just letting me know that like your ego was really driving you there, and our egos can be really great motivators, but it can also be put us in like the circumstance of the fool, where we bite off more than we can chew, and we end up in a place where we realize we really weren't ready for that. There's also like even a butterfly in behind the bird's nest here, marking transformation. So you are still, you're still a little bit green in this area that you're trying to move forward in. I feel like it's kind of a study. It feels like education, or like just knowledge, like something like it might be a course or something that you're taking that you tried to like kind of go forward in, whatever. Anyways, we already talked about that. But just so you know, like it's okay to be a student, and it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to go into things as the novice and not really know what you're doing yet, because I think that like the universe is kind of asking you to surrender to that kind of energy instead of leading with this like, no, for me to do this I need to like really stand in this like mask of mine that's like overly confident and like thinks that they know everything already. Like you're not gonna get anywhere with that energy. That's what the universe is saying. And because when you get into your ego, it's almost like we just have this like really specific vision of how things need to go. When we step out of our ego, we allow ourselves to see everything from a big picture. And most of the time, like when we're stuck in our ego, we're like asking for this thing, and we're asking for it to manifest, and we're praying and we're wishing. And then as soon as we can kind of like step away from our ego and step more into our hearts, we usually find out that thing's already manifesting for us in our lives, and we just haven't really shown gratitude or acknowledged that it was going on because it didn't look like how our ego really wanted it to look. It wasn't how the world needed it to look, and you know what I mean? And that's where this like wish is fulfilled, this like 5 of keys is coming in here. You've got all of this abundance coming in. Look at that full table. That's like so much going on there, so much food, so much abundance. It looks like everything is in abundance. There's like booze on the stairs and booze on the table and behind. It looks like a full like herbal cabinet. Everything, like it's just like abundance and celebration. Like it's just really good vibes all around, but it's in reverse with the bird's nest, which makes me feel like a lot of your wishes are being fulfilled right now, but you really aren't acknowledging them. Like, they are not up to par for what you wanted this success to look like. And I don't think you're really, you're not, I think you used to kind of, you kind of like switched back and forth from like the universe is against me, like I deserve this, like especially like exactly how I see it, like it needs to happen this way because I deserve this, and then you switch into this point where you're like, I'm the reason why this isn't coming in, like I haven't deserved this, like truly the universe is showing me that I haven't worked hard enough for this, so like, and then you start beating yourself up and you're just like, why am I here? I don't want to be here anymore, and just like getting all pissed off. And I just see it like coming back and forth there. And this time period, you're not like, you are going to start understanding to like thank your guides and thank your ancestors and thank the universe for all of the blessings that you're receiving. You're going to be able to actually see them and pick up on them a lot more within this month. And that's just coming with that humbleness of taking on the student role in whatever this new open door is providing you. So yeah, pretty cool. Now we're gonna go into a love reading. So I'm gonna start with the singles that shows the beach rock. Ooh. What do the singles need to know? Oh, the last pile got that card too, but it was in reverse. Okay, so we got the King of Cups. We got the Page of Pentacles. And we're ending off with the Page of Swords, which is what the pile before got, but they got it in reverse. So, singles. This King of Cups is making me feel like some of you guys are really like ready to start into this relationship. Like you've really mastered yourselves, you've taken the time to be alone, and you know what you need out of a relationship. Some of you guys, I feel like you haven't been alone that long. Like you might have gotten out of a relationship like 5-6 months ago, but you came out of it already knowing like, okay, now I know not to sacrifice any of my needs in a relationship. So now you've like fully aligned with the relationship that you know is going to be fulfilling for you. And this King of Cups is just marking just completion in general of like emotional healing, which like obviously I don't mean like completion like you're never gonna have to be emotional healing ever again, like your heart is good forever and ever. That's not how things work, clearly, but you've really mastered a part of yourself that you really weren't identifying with before. Yeah, like it's like you're just like you're honoring yourself and you're surrendering to who your true self is. When we first started dating, like especially in like high school and like our early 20s, like I feel like we're so much more concerned about what other people expect of us in a relationship. Not only the people that we are searching for to be in a relationship with, but even like our friends and our families really make us feel like we're already looking for this specific person that has to meet everybody's needs. And I think that you're understanding now that what your needs are a little bit separate than that, and that's okay, because the people in your life are going to love whoever you end up with, especially if you're happy, right? So this Page of Pentacles, it's marking for me that like there was some mourning that you had to do. It might have been more like material actually, like in the past relationship that you were in, you guys were talking about like moving together. You may have moved in together. You were talking about getting married. You may have been engaged. You were talking about kids. You might have thought about getting pregnant. It was like in those kinds of milestone topics, like that's the level of this relationship that you're mourning, and you're still kind of seeing the shiny bits of it, but you're understanding that you needed to kind of reevaluate or relearn other parts of how you function in a relationship that just really didn't mesh with this relationship. You understand that it needed to end. You understand it needed to end, but it doesn't mean that it didn't hurt any less. So although you are like, evolving into this person that completely accepts themselves and understands fully what they need in a relationship, don't be surprised if you are still a little bit sad in the next little while, or like memories start popping up in the next little while that make you feel like you need to process some things a little bit more about the past. The Page of Swords, on the other hand, is looking really brazenly, like, well, not looking. She's not looking. She's marching forward pretty brazenly without even looking forward. And it's interesting because it reads so much differently than how it did in the first reading here. Because in this circumstance, you guys are like, you're really just like content. It feels like you're content. Like, yeah, you got a little bit of hurt in your heart, but you feel pretty content and like ready to walk into something. And I think that what this card is asking you guys to do is kind of just go with the flow. Be okay with walking blind into something. This kind of pertains to the general message as well, of just like having the confidence and the carefreeness of walking into something with an open heart and not having any expectations from it, but just knowing that the world has your back right now. You know, you've really been critical with yourself over the last little while you've been dealing with your emotions and things. And now it's time to like just stop being so critical, because you are going through like some other stuff as well. And it's just time to kind of like throw care to the wind and have some fun. Just because you know exactly what you want doesn't mean that you're going to meet this person right away. So don't take dating so seriously. Like, you know what you want. So when you're going on dates with people, you know not to sacrifice those things. And you know your limitations with each relationship from the moment you meet someone, right? You know whether it's going to be just a fling or whether this is someone that you really care about. So just kind of decide what you can handle right now and just go for that, and don't say yes to anything else than what you're looking for. But still have fun. Like, just because you meet a person and within the first 10 seconds you realize that it's not going to go anywhere doesn't mean that you can't have a nice dinner or, you know, enjoy the movie or enjoy the nature. I don't know what you guys are doing on dates right now. It's COVID, so okay, so for those of you in a relationship, ooh, interesting. I'm gonna do a reading for you guys next. Oh my gosh, I keep getting this card over and over again, and like, I just feel like someone's gonna get pregnant. It's not pertaining to this one though, like in this reading, but anyways, I keep getting the 10 of Cups. That's the card I'm talking about. But we also got the 10 of Wands in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. So for those of you in a relationship, love during Scorpio season, I feel like, unfortunately for this pile, there's gonna be a lot of like tension. It's gonna come from a place of love. Like, this 10 of Cups is like really beautiful energy. It's about like celebrating and like success and like, woohoo, we made it kind of thing. Like, everything's working together and in flow. Like, all the cogs and the gears and like everything is like all well oiled and like you guys are doing really well. But there's also this like 10 of Wands energy and then also the King of Swords energy in reverse that makes me feel like you guys are really stubborn in your relationship. So like, the big picture is that you guys work really well together, but right here and right now there is a lot of tension and a lot of just like nitpicking, and like, I think I got this in the last reading too, that you guys are making mountains out of molehills, but it's in a different way. Like, it's not like how in the first pile, pertaining more so to different things. This is to do with communication, I think, more so than like projects or like hidden agendas or anything. To me, that this feels like you guys are just really zoning in on the small things and you're fighting about that. And to me, it feels like almost like these are the two people in the relationship here. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse and we have the King of Swords in reverse. So one person in this relationship is so used to taking the baggage that like they don't even really understand that they can stand up for themselves. This person is just used to taking the blunt. They're the yes dear kind of person, whoever it is in the relationship. This person is the person that is just used to being kind of submissive. Partly I think that this person writes off the behavior as like, you know, like it's not worth fighting over. But I think that this person's becoming bitter because they're not speaking up about anything. at all, no matter if it's like a big thing or a little thing. And then you have this other character here in the relationship, and they're really stubborn with their words. They know what they want, and they are very stubborn in their routine as well. They might be having trouble adjusting to living with someone new or sharing their life with someone new, and kind of having to be adaptive to having two people going in the same direction now, because you might take some different turns than what you would have chosen just on your own. So we got this like kind of submissive energy that's just like they might be speaking up now, and that might be why it's all about like the bickering and stuff, is because like they're kind of just speaking up about, they got something to say about everything, it feels like this person does. And then this other person that's more so used to getting their way, they're feeling like they really need to dig in that knife even more, like to stand their ground, because they're like, no, these are my boundaries, but they're being too stubborn, this other person. So whoever you more so associate yourselves with, just know that this bickering and this fighting, it needs to be more constructive. It's not getting anywhere. You guys are just getting really angry at each other and thinking that things are a lot worse than they actually are, when there's still so much potential and so much beauty in this relationship. Don't give up on it too easily, or think that this person, like, you know, just isn't your person. Like, they are, and I think you know that deep in your heart, that you're like, what in the fuck is going on? Because like, in the grand scheme of things, we're great together. Everything makes sense. It's just this time period that's been really difficult for you guys, it feels like, in communicating. So I think you guys need to listen to like some podcasts or like TED Talks, like something to do with relationships. If it's gotten to the point where you need to get like a mediator or like a therapist, counselor of sorts to walk you guys through it, now would be the time, because it's really, really worth it. It seems like you guys are headed in a really beautiful place, and it would be worth it to look into some serious help to help you guys over this next obstacle. If you guys feel like you can handle it on your own, you just need to be more forgiving with what you guys are saying to each other, because you're just not understanding each other right now, and you're not being forgiving. It's about you versus them right now. It's not you guys versus the problem, and that's what it needs to be. So that's the love rating for you guys in a relationship, for those of you who chose pile 2. So now, moving on to the last deck in the reading, we're just going to do some more general messages, just some ending messages, anything that had been left out from the rest of the reading that needs to be said. Oh. Okay. So we have the Five of Fire, competing goals, bothersome details, and conflicts with others. We have the Sun, Archangel Uriel, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. Eight of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Oh my God. So this is like basically the same reading as in the beginning, where we see like your ego has had a really big influence on you know, where you're getting caught up on things and you're feeling blocked in ways. But just like, I forget what that card's name was in that first tarot deck that we, Clearing the Way, right? I think it's called Clearing the Way. That's what this card is very similar to here, this Eight of Air, an illusion of being trapped. Like, your ego is trapping you in things because you're like feeling like competitive, or you're feeling like, you know, like, I think in other aspects of your life, being a leader or like being like the top dog is like really important right now. So then when you go into this other aspect of yourself, you're getting trapped in your ego because you're feeling like you have to be the master in every single aspect of your life, where that is just not realistic at all. And we are always simultaneously the student and the master in so many different aspects of our lives. We're such multi-dimensional beings, right? We're constantly going through that process and all those different cycles. So for this specific situation, it feels like first of all, you've got a lot going on right now. So that is, like I said, it feels like you're kind of more grounded in the situation, like you're kind of just like observing. But this card is just letting you know, like just like a little small soft warning that there's going to be a lot going on. So if you feel super calm in the storm, kind of just go with it. Don't feel like you need to be more hyped up, or that like, don't let your ego make you feel like you should, you know, be more dramatic about the stress you're experiencing or anything, because like I said, you guys have been going through a lot of hard shit, and it's kind of time for things to start falling into a little bit of an easier routine for you. So allow that to happen. But also I just feel like combination of being so busy, as well as like blocking yourself off from learning more and understanding that you might have to take a little bit more schooling or just pay more attention to what you're learning. Just like kind of submit to that, you know, like, you know what I'm talking about, like with the bird's nest and everything. But also with the sun here, like happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself. I think that like real true confidence is going to come shining through instead of you depending on your ego. You're really learning right now that when you align with yourself and you're just like true to yourself, that confidence comes a lot more naturally than when you try to like, I don't know, elude everybody. That's what it feels like. Like, I feel like you guys have been taking fake it till you make it to like the new extreme, like this like higher extreme, and it's gotten like out of your control, and that you feel like you have to like meet this like imaginary standard that you've set for yourself when you like made this character that was going to take on the world, and that like it's all false, you know, like you're falling more into yourself now. So that is beautiful. Okay, pile number 3. You guys chose green calcite with the quartz inclusions. This is such a nice low-key stone. I got it like maybe a month or so ago. I was just like, I wasn't even like going to get it. My one sphere that I needed to get was, well, I didn't need to, but I wanted to get an orange calcite sphere. And then in the same purchase, I got this sphere as well as this amethyst sphere. So yeah, those are a little bit my weakness. But anyway, this green calcite with the quartz inclusions, if you chose this crystal, you're really connecting with the earth right now and with your heart. This was happening in pile 2 as well, where you're learning that like you're processing a lot of collective energies a lot of the time, and you're really like learning how to transmute them and give them to the earth. You may be developing like a good meditation routine, or just energy clearing routine, or just making sure you get enough sleep, like just as simple as that. Whatever it is, you're understanding those simple life changes that you can make within your routine that helps you move through energy a little bit better here. I am seeing it really, really deeply connected to the earth for you guys here. So I feel like whatever messages are going to come through for you guys for Scorpio season are very much connected into earthliness. Not so much like pentacle energy where it's like material, but it's like healing energy. Very, very healing, but like roots, like just, I don't know, it's nice. Whatever it is, I'm having hard time describing it right now. So I'm gonna start with a dragon card here, just to see what dimension you guys are working in. Holy, 3 cards came out. I just need one. Oh, cool, thank you. So yeah, we're gonna talk about what dimensions your soul is working in right now, kind of the evolution that you're going through throughout this Scorpio season. So you guys got the Source Dragon, attunes you to the infinite. Be still. In the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment. How gorgeous. I believe that this is a 9th dimension dragon, but I'm just gonna double check that for us. Yeah, Source Dragon. So the 9th dimension, you guys are really connected to pile 2. So if you guys were also attracted to that beach rock, and if you have time to go back and do that other reading too, I really suggest watching pile 2, because I think it's going to connect a lot with, or give you another message that you're meant to receive. So the Source Dragon in the 9th dimension. So 9th dimension is where our like soul blueprints lie. Like when we're a soul and we want to come into this earth and we decide all the experiences that we want to have and our growth and how that has to happen for us to get from point A to point B, and how there's like 8 to the power 1, 8 to the power 2, 8 to the power 3 before we even get to freaking B. But that may not have made sense mathematically, but you know what I mean? Like there's all these little like mini quests that you have to go to before you get to point B. But anyway, that's what all goes on in the 9th dimension. It's where like this whole blueprint is formed of your life, and not only this life but the past lives and the future lives, and it has a lot to do with your higher self. And so when you do meditations or you like connect in with your higher self and you see how they're guiding you, it's because they're guiding you from like this higher plane that sees like the whole map and the best way to work within that map. So Source Dragon specifically here was talking about being the moment, being the silence. So for you guys here, it might feel like energy's moving a little bit slower, but it's not like there isn't anything happening. And I think that that's why you're getting this card, is that it doesn't feel like that much is going on in the outside of things, but internally it feels like you guys are learning so much. Like those of you that chose this pile, you might be getting a lot of like psychic readings, or if you're a tarot reader and an energy healer, like you're feeling like your powers are possibly like evolving and growing, and you might be developing more skills within those kind of metaphysical explorations. Either way, like there is a lot going on, but you yourself, it's very much important for you to stay still, not physically still, but like just be in that stillness of your mind and body and find that stillness. So meditating a little bit more, or just like, you know, going for walks by yourself, or just like being in the moment with things. Like when you eat, don't watch TV while you eat or read while you eat, just like eat the meal, just spend time with the meal. Or when you have a cup of coffee in the morning, just going out onto the deck if it's not too cold yet where you are, and just admiring the world wake up while you drink your coffee. Just doing things like that, really putting meaning into your actions, because it'll help you slow yourself down. Because like the universe is like, it is slowing down for you so that you can like take in everything, and you can kind of like absorb and like marinate with everything that's coming in for you right now. And it's important for you to like match with the universe in tempo and just like slow yourself down so you can really just take everything in without breezing past anything. So that's our first card. Now let's go into the general message here. That's just gonna be like themes, obstacles, challenges, anything that is of focus. Ooh, fun. Just one more card, that's all I need. Well, it gave me 3 cards. I was like, yeah, you have to. It gave me 2 cards. Sometimes I can like feel when it gives me 2 cards which one it's supposed to be, but it was like not very clear. Woo! Come on, deck. One more card, please. Oh, here we go. Alrighty, well that was technically in reverse. There we go. Sorry guys. Okay, so for our general message here for Scorpio season for the 3rd crystal pile pickers, we have the 8 of Scrolls, Paths Unknown. So a lot of uncertainty here. We also have the Queen of Roses, who looks very lovingly at her plants, very adoringly. And then we have Caught in the Ruins in reverse, which is number 16. So in traditional tarot, the number 16 card is the tarot card. So this is interesting because it just feels like, I don't know. know, like it just feels like you guys are like, there's so much, well, like it says, there's so much unknown. I feel like you guys are doing a lot of daydreaming here with the Queen of Roses. There's a lot of like things that are sparking your heart right now, and it may make you feel like you have a whole bunch of paths that you need to decide which one to take. Like you might be feeling overwhelmed a little bit. Yeah, it's like pulling you back to pile 2. So you guys for sure look at pile 2 as well, because it is a collective reading. So I think that you're going to be pulling some of the things from the last messages from pile 2 and combining it with some of the messages here, because like it feels like you guys are just at a crossroads right now, and that might be why the world is kind of slowing down here, is because like there is a lot that, like, I think there's a lot of newness that you just didn't realize was a path for you, that it's coming into reality right now. It's making itself known that you could choose any of these paths, that they actually are open when you thought they were closed. And a lot of these paths that are opening up, like it feels like there's like 3 or 4 things that you're like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do this too. It feels like half or more than half of these things are really in alignment with your heart. So you're really having a hard time deciding what to step forward with. It feels like people are asking you to be a part of a group for something in a lot of these different decisions you need to make. But then there's this like this independent nature that I feel as well, that like you're kind of deciding like, okay, so like, do I want to be working with a bunch of people? Do I want to just work on this by myself and kind of to check in with them once in a while? It seems to me that you're really not supposed to come to a decision right now. You're just supposed to ponder with it. Like I said, like just be in the moment and find stillness. Both of these characters look like they're doing that. She's like taking the time just to really take a look at all of the paths and see which one really aligns with what she's looking for. And in the Queen of Roses here, she's like among all of her roses, and she's really closed in on this one rose and taking it in and just being in the moment with that rosebud. In the Caught in the Ruins here in reverse, like I said, the number 16 in traditional tarot is the Tower, and this Caught in the Ruins, it makes me feel like it's very similar energy, like yeah, I think you guys are a lot like pile 2 in that like you guys have been moving through this like really hard energy, and it feels like some doors are opening up for you guys, kind of like pile 2, but unlike pile 2 where it's like doors are opening up, they were like really looking at them before and they were like, I really want that door to open up, like where's the key? And once it was finally open, they're just like raring to go, like they know what they want to get out there. For you guys, it's like these doors are opening finally, but you have no idea what to do, because you're not even sure what you want to do. So this Caught in the Ruins card here, it seems to me like it's specifically pointing to the reason for your hesitation, which I believe is like things going wrong in the past. I think this is like an entrepreneurial dream of yours. This is what it feels like to me. And all of these opportunities are opening up for you right now, and you're feeling really overwhelmed and really hesitant because you've been burned in the past. And I think that's why you're kind of thinking like going off on your own is a really good idea. But all these like supporters that are coming into your life right now too have really good intentions as well. So just really sit with this decision before you make it. Scorpio season is going to be all about the marinade. It's going to be all about just sitting in it, soaking it all up, and seeing kind of what becomes of it, because there's more that has to develop before you come to a decision. So now moving into the love portion of the reading. So singles who chose this crystal, you're gonna be first. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards here for you guys. Oh, there we go. This deck wasn't messing around. Okay, so singles that chose this pile. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse. So it looks like upright. We have the 2 of Swords. That was also in reverse though. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. That was also in reverse. So this is interesting. We got a whole bunch of energies coming in here. We have Cups energy, which is water, which is like flowing emotions. Then we have Swords energy, which is communication. It can really depend on what card in the Swords suit that like it manipulates the energy, because air, like swords and air, as the element that corresponds with it, is ever changing and it's unpredictable as hell. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles here, Pentacles being earth energy and more materialistic. So we've got a lot of stuff coming in here, and yeah, that's like definitely why you need to kind of take your time with a lot of the options that you're seeing out in the world, because how do I word this stuff here that I'm seeing? So the card that's jumping out to me first and foremost, the card that's giving me the most like clear message, is this 2 of Swords in reverse here. So this like, there's this like sense of being trapped, or this sense of being betrayed over and over and over again. It's almost like every time you meet someone, something goes wrong, and you've gotten to the point where you can predict it, and you just know that, you know, everything's gonna hit the fan at one point or another, and you're just waiting for that second shoe to drop whenever you're actually doing something and it goes well with someone. Like whenever you start a relationship with someone and it starts to go well, and there doesn't seem to be anything that's going to, like, you know, flip on you or be revealed to you, you start to get really paranoid, and you might put your defenses up, just as this 2 of Swords energy here, and you're just blindly like, it's like, you know your red flags, and as soon as someone has one of your red flags, you just tune off. You're just like, nope, you shut down. Nope, you're not for me. And I think what this is like more so telling you is that this has become like a really big reaction for you, so that you stay safe and you don't get hurt again. And it's overactive. Like, you're doing this to everybody now. And because you're working in this energy where you're just really not open to love, you think you are, but you're not, because you're finding red flags in everything that everyone does. And I want you to look at those red flags, because I think some of them are really personal to the specific person that allowed you to develop that sense of knowing it was a red flag. I don't think that some of these red flags that you have actually pertain to like overall red flags. These were just things that were like specific to these specific people. Not everything, clearly have your boundaries and everything, but it just feels like you're getting to the point where you're like, oh no, I'm not dating him. He's an architect. I dated an architect 2 years ago and he broke my heart and he was a cheater, and all architects are cheaters. Like, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like you're just like, you've gotten to a point where you just like write everybody off. And this 9 of Cups energy, to me, it feels like you're actually being offered some really good opportunities to connect with some beautiful people, and it doesn't seem like the right time right now because you're in reverse here, but 9 of Cups energy here is very like almost masterful. Like, you're expanding and you're able to take in more. So I kind of see like this 2 of Swords in the middle here as being your learning challenge, like the thing that you need to approach to be able to feel and understand the nature of this 9 of Cups. This Ace of Pentacles as well here, there is definitely this new beginning. Like, I think you already know kind of that you're being too picky with people and that you are really scared to be vulnerable again. And that's something that you're gonna have to work on. And of course it's gonna take time, but you do have this Ace of Pentacles. It was in reverse, but I still see this as a new opportunity, possibly to work with someone or somebody that you're going to meet at your workplace that's going to show you how to trust people again. It seems like a solid foundation that's coming in. It feels like the end of Scorpio season. Honestly, it might even be like the beginning of Sagittarius season, because I think that throughout this month, you're really going to be working on just allowing yourself to open up more to people. With this 9 of Cups energy here and the 2 of Swords, you're kind of like working through this stuff and seeing which ones are defense mechanisms and which ones are actually real, you know. And then this really grounding person's going to come into your life. They may be an earth sign, specifically a Taurus. Yeah, specifically a Taurus possibly. But they don't have to be an earth sign. They could just be someone that's like really grounded and realistic and just doesn't have like, you know, these like high expectations walking into a relationship. Like they don't like want to marry you right off the hop or something. Like they're just like, yeah, let's hang out. And they make it super casual, but also in a way that, you know, they're not just like using you, you know, like you feel really trustful with them. And it feels like to me that it may be like a coworker, and that's why you can keep it like on the hush hush and the down low and keep it casual, because like, you know that it would be a risk to kind of take it in more than that. And I think that other person will know too, and that will help you guys kind of just have fun. And that's all that I think you really need right now, is just to allow yourself to have fun without thinking that everyone's out there to get you. Now, for those of you who chose this pile in a relationship, ooh, oh. Ah, that's a lot of cards. I just need one more, please and thanks. Ooh. That's 2 cards. This one. Oh my goodness, this is interesting. So for those of you who are in a relationship, we have the Lovers, and then we have the 8 of Cups in reverse, and then we also have the Hermit in reverse. So this is really funny to me. It feels like those of you in a relationship, you guys have like either been kind of like distant from each other lately, or you're like, yeah, what is going on here? Because we've got the Lovers here that's like coming in with this like really strong connection. But then we also have these 2 cards here in the reverse that mark a lot to do with isolation and solitude and the need for silence and for being alone. So it's really interesting that we have the balance of these 2 energies coming in, where it's all about like, you know, coming together and union and partnership, and then mixed with like needing that time alone. So maybe what's going on here, I kind of see this as 2 ways. I see one message that's coming through that's like, you guys have been kind of distant lately. You guys have been kind of just like in your own routines, and it doesn't even feel like you guys have been like doing it on purpose. Like it doesn't feel like you were like, no, like I need this time alone, we need some space because I really need to dedicate myself. Like I think that you guys both just got really busy in your own things. Like both of you guys really value your personal growth and your like career growth. Like you guys are just go-getters in your relationship, so you guys have like both just like been focused on your own things. That's what it feels like, and it's like coming into a point where you guys need to come back together because you're disconnecting from each other. And it's like, I'm not saying this is like a, oh, you're gonna break up. That's not what I mean. I just feel like it's time for you guys to find more union, to come back into that Lovers energy a little bit. Possibly really having to work at that by like dedicating a day of the week for a date night or something like that, or get like, you know, one of you guys getting up early so that you guys can have coffee before the other one has to work, something like that, where you just have to like, you need to show up for yourself and show up for your partner by like showing a little bit more dedication to each other. I feel like one of you guys may be understanding this. The other person in this relationship is like, oh yeah, you're right, I just wasn't paying attention to it because I have so much faith in our relationship that I thought this could go longer. But just because it can go longer, and just because your partner is so understanding and forgiving of what you are focused on right now, doesn't mean that it needs to keep being pushed to its limits, right? You shouldn't have to do that. That's not what the relationship's about. So that's one message that's coming through. One of the other ones that I was just trying to figure out here, another situation that might be going on here for those in a relationship who shows this pile. it almost feels like the opposite, or just coming into the understanding of it. Like, I feel like the first message that came through was of the couple that understands this about each other, that you guys kind of like get into your own heads about things sometimes and get carried away in your own lives, and once in a while need to like really reconnect and focus on reconnecting. That's something that you guys kind of like already know about yourselves. This other message, I think, is like one or both of you guys feels really alone right now, and I think it's because like you guys have both been really hurt, and this relationship is all about like rebuilding the trust with another person again, and kind of starting from ground zero and relearning like who you are in a relationship, what you like in a relationship. Even if you guys have been together for quite a while, it feels like this relationship is on like totally new grounds than any other relationship that you've been on or been in, and so you're kind of just learning as you go, because like this is like a really tender relationship for you guys, it feels like, and both of you guys are really recovering from trust issues. So instead of talking about things, I can see you guys both like reverting to your holes. Like, one of you guys really dedicates yourself to like just spending time alone, like just like reading and watching Netflix, and just like enjoys their time alone. The other person, it's more so like punishing themselves, so they like spend time alone when like they don't know how to handle their emotions, or when they want to talk to you about something but they don't want to talk to you about something at the same time. That's more of this like 8 of Cups energy in reverse, this other partner that's like, I want to talk about things, but I'm uncomfortable talking about things, so I'm just not going to talk about things, and we're just not going to deal with it. Although there's this beautiful Lover's energy in this interpretation of this relationship reading as well, where you guys really love each other, and like I said, there's this like tenderness, this like almost this innocence about you guys in this relationship. Like, at least like one of you guys for sure has been really hurt in the past, like their trust has been misused and betrayed. Maybe both of you guys, it might also have been like a situation where you were just really manipulated, and it twisted what you thought a relationship should look like. So it just feels like you guys are both like super open-hearted and understanding of each other, but you're both working through these like defense mechanisms or like triggers, you know, that make you detach. Like, I feel like you guys are both Aquariuses, or one of you guys has an Aquarius placement like in your top 3, because it feels like very Aquarian energy, where when you're dealing with your emotions, you feel like you need to be by yourself, which is great, and that's awesome that you guys know that about each other, but you need to realize when it's time to actually speak up as well. Yeah. So now, just for the remainder messages, anything extra, wow! Okay, I'm not reading all of those cards, sorry deck. I've been doing this, I need to like, okay, only like 3 or 4 cards please, just for any other messages for people who chose this pile. Ooh. Okay, thank you for listening, deck. Been shooting out like 10 cards. Alright, so just for our last message here, pile 3, we have the 3 of Air in reverse. Great sadness. Take time to heal. The need to forgive yourself and others. Yeah, you guys have been betrayed in the past, like in so many different ways. Like with that love reading, I feel like whether like you're single or in a relationship, like you're really dealing with some like trust stuff right now. And then even with like, what was it, the 8 of Scrolls? I don't remember right in this moment, but I think it was the 8 of Scrolls in that first tarot deck that was showing you that you had like all these different directions, and I was saying how like some of them were independent directions that you feel very comfortable with, because then you don't have to depend on anyone, but then there's some like really beautiful collaboration opportunities that are coming in that you feel really wary about because you've been burned in the past. So why you need to sit with these decisions is because it'll like help you weed out who's really true to you who really understands you and who can meet you where you're at, instead of having these expectations for you because they don't actually align with your soul. Like, they don't actually see you, so they have these expectations for you that aren't you. That's why you're really being asked to like take time to heal and just slow down and kind of meet the universe where it's at in speed. Like, really just be conscious in the moment. We also got the King of Earth: generous, professional, responsible, and practical, a successful time, confidently accept opportunities you're offered, the Midas touch. So why you're getting so many amazing opportunities right now is because you're really stepping into this beautiful manifestation energy that's working really well with the earth. Then everything that you touch turns to gold, the Midas touch. That sounds amazing. It feels like you can just kind of put the cherry on top of everything, and that's kind of the energy that you feel comfortable in, where you can kind of just like swoop in, put in your touches, and then just like, you know, leave. I didn't even mean that isn't like the Midas touch. I just feel like you do the final touches on things, or like you do like the completion of it, and that way you like are still collaborating with other people, but you don't actually have to like interact, like groupthink kind of stuff with people. You can still maintain your independence. Although it says confidently accept opportunities you're offered, yes, do that, but do think it through. Like I said, you're really gonna have to like slow yourself down. You might need to write out pros and cons before you come to decisions, but there are really beautiful opportunities available to you right now. The Ten of Air is the last card we see here, and it's the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. That's cool. So that's a really beautiful way of just summing up like the entire reading. Is like, you've been going through this heavy energy, and like I said, very connected to pile 2. You're going into this energy now where there might be like a few things coming together, and like there's all these like different opportunities and options available to you now, and you should like celebrate that. That's definitely a success, and it's something that you should be happy about, and really ride that wave of joy and abundance and give thanks to all of the beautiful offerings that are coming into your life right now. But I still feel like not to pump the brakes. Like, I'm not telling you to be hesitant, because as we've discussed in this reading, it's very much like just a, you know, trait of yours, because you've got a little bit of trust issues being activated right now. But that's why you just need to be slow. Like, you just need to be patient with yourself instead of like acting on impulse, because that's when you're what was I calling it? What's the word that I'm talking about here? But anyway, when your trust issues are coming in here, it's just letting you know that like your first impulsive decision is going to be acting on those trust issues. So like your impulsive decision is going to be like, nope, or like, I don't trust them, or, you know, like, nope, I need to do it by myself. This is going to be a fail if it's a bunch of people working together. Those impulsive thoughts, that's just like you being triggered by like all these like trust issues that are coming to the forefront right now that you're having to deal with. But as it's saying in the cards here, it's not going to be a super challenging energy, or like, you know, it's not going to be like you're walking through sludge or anything. It's just going to offer you some challenges that are a lot easier for you to work through now that you've like worked through a lot of other things as well. So yeah, that's your reading for Scorpio season, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I love you all.